Welcome into another episode of Game Changers. I'm Mike Cunha. Yes, round of applause for everyone. The NFL. How about that? Week 1 continues to be the best soap opera.
Were you baling hay or something with that shirt you got on?
You're talking to him, yeah. Yeah, he's not talking to me. Look at me. I look great.
You look like you just came from Margaritaville or something.
He's got the Dolphin alumni.
Yes, Dolphin alumni.
Because they made up for that loss to the Chargers in the Orange Bowl, the 41-38 in January of '82.
Made up for it. It took a long time. It took to 2023 to get that bitter taste out of my mouth.
See?
We got it out.
It's out.
It took 40-something years, but hey, it's out.
All right. Well, you know what helped take that taste out?
Bolstering it with my logo.
That's it.
I'm surprised you didn't get out there on the field. You're standing on the sideline. You want to knock someone out.
I ran out, but I pulled a hamstring. I had to go back.
No. Okay. You know who didn't pull a hamstring? Tyreek Hill. Monster day there in week 1. Guys, before the season started, this guy said, I want to hit 2,000 yards. No receiver's ever done it.
Yeah.
After what you saw, the 215.
He may have underestimated himself.
Yeah. Is he going to get there? Do you think he blows by it? I mean, is he going to just
Well, you know I did the math.
Yeah.
111 yards average the last 16, and he's got it, which doesn't only sound undoable, it actually sounds kind of probable. 111 yards.
He may have hit it by game 13.
I mean, come on, man. This guy
if he go, look.
It is amazing that we got the best in the world, literally, in this league, and this guy is so much better than everybody else. I mean, and give Mike McDaniel credit, Bo. He wasn't just open. He was wide open all day long.
And let me tell you what, this kid wants to play and wants to play badly. If he's on the sideline, he's chewing on someone's ear. Get me in, get me in. He gets nicked up a little bit. Get me in, get me in. I love this guy. And look, I'm going to tell you what, he plays to go to the end zone. He's always trying to extend plays. That's kind of rubbing off on Jalen Waddle, who's becoming a great receiver in his own right.
Yeah.
I tell you what, this is an amazing offense we watch. And I'll tell you, the thing to me that I was most impressed with in that game, with a lot of things to be impressed with, those 5 offensive linemen that kept Tua standing back there. He could stand back there. He could look. He could move around.
Did you think he was getting rid of the ball a little quicker, though, also?
You know what? I tell you, one of the best plays I saw, they come that little screen pass. Everyone show up, throw it right in the ground. Let's play another day.
You guys talk to each other.
No, honestly, we did. Honestly, but did he look like he had a little more, like, get it out quicker?
I think it was get it out quicker. And look, he said, I know when I throw this ball, it's going to be there. I love the way he played. I love everything the offense did. Defense.
We'll get to defense.
Let's get to the defense.
We'll get to the defense in a second, but let's stick with Tua because all of a sudden his MVP odds skyrocket. He is co-favorite right now with Patrick Mahomes, defending champion, MVP. Bo, is he a serious MVP candidate?
466, 3 touchdowns in one game. I mean, if you're going to go on a one-game ballot, he's got to win the deal, right?
No, he was.
I mean, who else?
He was up there last year.
Who else are you going to give it to?
Before he got hurt.
The Jets guy, they had 3 interceptions. No, he's not going to get it. Tua's going to get it if you're giving away on week 1.
All those people that said he should retire.
But he got 16 more games. He got 16 more games before he gets the real hard work.
Yeah.
Right. Got a while to wait. I know.
All right. I know you want to talk about the defense. Let's talk about the defense because look, that last series, we'll remember that forever because, as you said, they finally got the stink away of losing to the Chargers. But that defense, the run game, stank the entire game.
Horrible.
Are you worried? Because to me, it was like, I was so pumped up.
Yeah.
It's Vic Fangio going to unleash the defense finally. None of this vanilla stuff we saw in the preseason, and it came out flat? Like, is that what we're calling that run defense?
I feel like punching myself in the jaw because I was so anxious to see the Vic Fangio. And I like the look. He runs that nickel defense. We've got 2 big guys inside and the 2 outside linebackers out there. It doesn't work very well when they run the football.
No.
You got those 2 outside guys that are out there wide. You got the 2 inside guys narrow. You're asking small linebackers and safeties to make plays at the running game downfield. For me, if after the first quarter, if they're running the ball, I'm going back to a 3-4 and give my nose tackle in there, get my 2 tackles on the defensive ends, get the outside linebackers there, see if he can run against that defense. I don't know if he's going to change anything, but if he's not going to change anything, he's got to find some way to plug up those holes because San Diego just paid their quarterback about $1 bazillion, and all he did was hand off all day long.
Yeah. Did you think some of the guys were a little tired?
No.
I got play chart like that secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, Holland, Elliott, X played every play.
100% of the. Yeah.
I mean, you have
What's wrong with that? What's
well,
wrong
I'm
with
just
that?
asking, if it was too much, they didn't go very, like David Long, the big free agent linebacker, he didn't even play.
That's right.
But you don't think that was the case? They weren't a little gassed?
No, I don't think it was the gas.
Because you were down there on the field.
No, I don't think they were gassed. I'm watching them come off the field. They're fine. I just think the scheme that the Chargers threw at that defense was the most effective thing that they could have done, and they just kept doing it all day long.
The surprising thing, David Long not playing a whole lot was surprising, but you look at that secondary. I mean, Brandon Jones didn't play much. He's coming back from injury.
Two plays.
Right. And he played more on special teams. Justin Bethel, a guy who has played almost 200 games in the league, finally had his first sack.
Yeah. Only 9 plays, by the way, in the game.
And it was a half sack. So I think that secondary is a little depleted. That's why those guys, as you mentioned, the Hollands, the X's, those guys had to play.
And Holland usually does play every play.
The bulk of it.
Hold on.
Those guys are going to
We're going to get an old school comment right here.
Hold on. They weren't tired in the first quarter when the Chargers were running over their ass all day long.
Good point.
They weren't tired in the first quarter.
121 rushing yards in the first half.
Good point.
You're right. I'm scared to ask you about the Patriots. All right. Okay. So, in all seriousness, they've got the Patriots coming up. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. Overlooking Bill Belichick's team, I mean, they had some mistakes against the Eagles this week, but overall, if you look back at that game, I thought the Patriots actually played pretty well. A guy lands in bounds. We're talking about a much different outcome.
Outgained them by far.
Yeah.
I mean, yardage.
Obviously, we're going to talk about the Jets a little bit later, but should we be giving more respect, guys, to the Patriots?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No. Let me say what I was saying. So where the Dolphins sit right now, if I'm sitting in that Dolphin meeting room, I'm puffed up. Right. My chest is poking out. I'm going to say we're going to go up to New England and we're going to beat them down.
Yeah.
We're going to beat them. We're not going to give them an inch. We're not going to let them do anything. We're not going to become. You know what? I'm tired of going to New England and feeling like second-class citizens. Well, let's raise the bar. Let's be the first-class citizens. Let's walk in there like we own the NFL and say, you know what? We're going to come into your house. We're going to beat you down, and then we're going to go home. And when you come to our house, we'll beat you down another time.
Well, I mean, in the locker room for the pregame.
I know. Well,
that got me fired.
Tua's never lost to Bill Belichick, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he's because I don't think he
loss last year.
Billy's not doing so well since Tom Brady's playing there. His record's not.
Well,
his record without Tom Brady isn't very sterling.
His record without Tom Brady in his career is 79 and 90.
There you go.
I'm not saying that he's a bad, but that's just the facts. And that is a big enough sample size. Yeah. And Brady's record in a smaller sample size won a Super Bowl without Belichick. Yeah. But I'm not trying to take it away from. I mean, the guy's a great coach, but he's 79 and 90. When Tom Brady's not his quarterback.
Well, you forgot all the times he cheated too. That you had to take away.
You mean videotaping and doing all
Deflategate, all that stuff.
Balls and all the other
I gotta say, I'm impressed that number just fell out of your head.
Well, I knew he was 79, 89, and they lost. So,
all right, there you go.
I could add the one. I knew that.
There you go. We have a lot more football we're going to talk about. We're going to hit on the Canes, everything. Well, of course, we'll talk about what happened with the Jets on Monday Night Football. But yes, Canes football. Are they back? Tyler Van Dyke. Now Tyler Van Dimes.
They can't sign. Jets can't sign Tyler Van Dyke, can they?
Not yet. Welcome back to Game Changers, and I'm so happy to be talking about the Hurricanes in a positive light. It has been a very long time since people could throw up the U and feel really good about it. Beating up on Texas A&M in a game that actually looked closer than it probably really was. Had Miami not given up 14 points thanks to special teams, they probably blew the doors off Jimbo Fisher, who likes to make more excuses than any other coach I've ever seen in my entire.
Talk about overrated, by the way.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Good recruiter. Can't coach a lick.
You know his buyout's like $50 million if they want to fire him the next year or two?
Maybe he's a genius. Who knows?
He is getting these contracts and not winning. He is a genius. You're right.
Tyler Van Dyke a couple years ago had some first-round hype. He's since trademarked the name Tyler Van Dimes, and hey, he goes out against Texas A&M, throws 5 touchdowns. Goldie, you like the trademark, and is Tyler Van Dyke now back in that conversation as one of the best quarterbacks in the nation?
Well, I need a little bit more time to think about it, but I love his mom at the game, having the Van Dimes back on the jersey, so I love the nickname. I'll tell you what, though, as good as he was, what a great position he's in. Restrepo is a superstar, young, I mean, 6'5", 215, unbelievable. He's a tight end in a wide receiver's body. Great players around him, but yes, they fall behind. They make some silly mistakes. I'm thinking to myself, Mike, oh, here we go again, same old Canes, and then all of a sudden he cranks it up. One of the great games we've really ever seen with all the great, Vinny and Jim Kelly and all the great quarterbacks and Erickson in Miami history. So it's creeping back up there, but. Bethune-Cookman this week. Then you get into some of the. I want to see him do it a few more times.
You got to have some. You got to have a few games under his belt. Yeah. You can't have this roller coaster ride where you play really well one week like he did in the first week, and then go down and and just lay an egg. I mean, he's got to be. He's just got to stay consistent. And look, I'm with you. I looked at one thing. I want to see this football. I want to see him run on the field, and I want to see what they look like. And I saw an offensive line that looked like an NFL-size offensive line. You saw defensive linemen that are active, that can get up the field, that can penetrate. You saw linebackers that can run. You saw safeties coming up and hitting. You got running. I mean, this team is.
It looks different.
This is a completely different team.
Williams
look, we've seen a number of teams in the first 2 weeks that are completely different. Yeah. Miami's completely different. Florida State's completely different. A number of these teams.
What about the Gators?
Completely different the other way.
Colorado is completely different.
Coach Prime.
You got those teams that went full in on the portal. Let's bring in. Well, the Colorado brought in like 90 guys. Yeah. How many Miami bring in?
Like 40
guys. Those are big roster changes, but they're working for these teams.
Yes, it is. And that was going to be my next question. Does Miami look different? And I think they do. And you know what? I think Deion Sanders is going to ruin a lot of plans for coaches because of how quickly he was able to turn around. But give credit to Mario Cristobal because he, in a low-key way, kind of did the same thing. Remember, he came in late in the process. Yep. I mean, I think his introductory press conference was like in December or January, his first year. So it's not like he had a full recruiting cycle. Now he's done it with recruiting. Yep. Now he's done it with transfers. He was preaching patience that first year, and it was ugly. It was not good. It's starting
also has his coaches. I think
he's got his coaches.
I think he's got his coaching
got the coaches he wants.
In place
but just look at the physical. Just look at physically every position on that team.
They got some studs.
Every position on that team has become more physical than they've been in the last decade, and the speed players are faster than the guys that they've had in the last decade. And so this whole change, it's a complete changeover from what we saw last year, from the limited athletic ability there to an abundance of athletic ability and strength on both offensive and defensive lines of scrimmage.
The offensive line looks amazing.
Unbelievable.
Colby Young. Number 4.
That big freshman on the side that jumps off sides all the time. Boy, when he's not jumping off sides, he's burying somebody.
Jason Taylor, fix that, boy. JT, fix those guys.
You got his number. Give him a call.
What are you saying?
Do it right now.
Too many offsides. Text them. Too many offsides.
Too many offsides.
Come on, man.
All right. Well, now that we've established that the Canes are back, kidding.
Yay.
We'll see. We do have more football to talk about on the other side. We're going to dive into what's been going on in the NFL, some of the more disappointing teams from Week 1, and of course, Aaron Rodgers, what the loss of number 8 means for the Jets.
What's Alabama's record?
Welcome back to Game Changer. Talking about a game-changing loss on Monday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers lasts just 4 plays. He pops his Achilles right out of his foot, and now it looks like the Jets season is on the brink. Back to Zach Wilson as QB1.
He looked pretty good.
Listen.
Just keep him in. Keep him safe.
Listen, the Miami Dolphins were the big winners on Monday Night Football. Honestly, it does stink that Aaron Rodgers is out.
It does.
How much of a bummer is this? Because the division bow was going to be so much fun the entire way.
I was looking forward to it. I knew it was going to be a battle, but I was really looking forward to it. I knew Buffalo's kind of been coming back to the pack a little bit over the last year or so, but I was really looking forward to the every matchup in the AFC East against the quarterbacks and look to see the guy go down. Look, I'm a Dolphin fan, but I'm an NFL fan, and to see that guy go down, the story going in was so massive. You're in the media capital of the world. Everything he does is going to be magnified, and within 4 plays. I mean, that stadium felt like it was a double Super Bowl when they're introducing the teams, and within 10 minutes, there was a pall over that stadium you could cut with a knife.
Well, the Jets just can't have nice things. We've known this. Same way, remember they made the championship game many years ago when Parcells got there. Game 1, opening day the following year, Vinny Testaverde blows out. Remember that? That was it. It was over with. It is a shame from a football standpoint, but I do think, he didn't have a great year last year. He's 39 years old. Obviously, can't predict an Achilles, but it's not the injury is shocking when it happened, but it's not completely shocking that Aaron Rodgers at 39 goes down with an injury. Shocking when it happens, 4 plays and out for the year. But of course, it's disappointing. We'll see. We'll say, hey, they got the win.
Yeah.
So,
do you think he comes back?
That's a big question right there. That is.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
When Danny did it, when Marino did it, Marino wasn't 39 when he came back and had the 5 TDs against the Patriots and came back from the Achilles. He was only in his 10th year in the league. Dan was 30 years old, whatever it was. This is a different story. You're coming back when you're 40 from an Achilles?
That's a 1 year long, that's a full year rehabilitation on that. And that's a rehabilitation where you can't run, you can't condition the way you'd like to. You get on a bike and do stuff, but and at his age, I don't know. So if he comes back next year, does he play week 3? Does he play week 5? I don't. This may be. Look, unfortunately, this may be the last we see of Aaron Rodgers. It very well could be.
I hope not, because that would be the
especially if he goes over into India or someone smokes all that stuff like the whole time he's out.
He'll probably be fixed up naturally.
Yeah, man.
If he does
there you go.
That'll do it. That'll get you back on the field.
Get him the cane.
You're not going to feel anything. So put him back
there
out there. All right. So that was the big disappointing story of Week 1 for sure. But let's talk about team disappointments. Goldie, I'll start with you.
Yeah.
Your biggest disappointment of Week 1, because a lot of good teams lost early on.
Well, this is I lost my cap. This is where you want to use the board. Yeah. So my biggest disappointment Week 1, I'll give you the team, but also give you a player right there.
Josh Allen.
You lost to Zach Wilson.
He lost to that defense.
4 ints.
That is the most disappointing. This team to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You lose to the Jets after they lose Aaron Rodgers, and you let him. And Josh Allen, who leads the league, by the way. I know he makes a lot of great plays. He leads the league in turnovers over the last 5 years. He's got like 85 turnovers. I think the Buffalo Bills, and I know you guys have talked about this, maybe that window 2-3 years ago was really high. They continue to count on Josh Allen so much that it's just natural. And this guy, by the way, never slides. He tries to hurdle and jump. That you're going to get turnovers.
When he look, it's why the Dolphins ended up being in that playoff game last year, because he was careless with the football.
They got the defensive TD.
They ended up coming back. But to your point, he's thrown 3 interceptions at that point in the Monday Night Football game, and he's running downfield, and he tries to leap over like a linebacker and a safety. You got to be better than that. And that's why when you said the Bills had come back to the pack, and it made me think, was that the case, or were the teams catching up to them? And I think it's a little bit of both, but I think the falling back to the pack has to do with what you're saying. He's doing it. He's allowing teams to be alive.
They've lost some players on their defensive side, and you just kind of chip away at that defense a little bit. And if Josh Allen's not going to play better than that, I would assume he's going to play better than that. But if that's the way he's going to play,
But when he's got the ball that much,
I know. Yeah,
it's going to lend itself.
He gets it every play.
I also thought
every play except for the
punter.
By the way,
bad job coaching. Number 1, you give up a special teams return in overtime. Like
terrible.
You don't see that. And number 2, how about when they got to the 20 and it was 4th and a yard and a half, and you take the field goal, and you got that guy at quarterback? I didn't think the coaching very nice. But again, it's one game.
I thought Thomas Morstead played pretty good though.
The former Dolphin punter. It's pretty good.
By the way, who's your team?
My team. The Gigantes, the New York Football Gigantes.
Losing 40-0 at home is bad.
They were up here when the game started, and then they ended up way. That was it, 44-0.
40-0.
The Dallas Cowboys
in your house,
Dallas.
By the MetLife Stadium, that wasn't
Brian
very good.
Dable,
24 hours.
My man Brian Dable.
Who's got it worse
Brian,
right now?
you got to be better than that.
Who's got it worse
right
now, both the Giants or the Jets?
Jets won. They don't have a quarterback,
well,
but
look,
they won the game.
The one thing, you know what's funny?
At least the Jets got a good defense.
So when
the Gigantes, see that Gigantes.
when he went down with the Achilles, I thought to myself, he's not going to play the rest of this game. I hope the Jets can win it.
Right. Get the win.
That was a big win for Miami.
That was a huge win for Miami.
You know what is scary though? That Jet defense is scary.
Oh yeah,
they are old school. They hit. They're nasty. They get after it.
Equally scary. The turf there at MetLife. Okay. My disappointing team, the Steelers.
Oh, was that a bad game? Good call.
To have the 49ers, who are a great team, go in there and smack you that way after they probably got more preseason hype.
Can you just lift it up? I want to see the sad face. Can you get this? Yeah, with the sad face. I like that.
Yeah, I can draw. That's art.
That's cute. That's
art. Yeah.
They were bad.
I mean, they had like 1 yard in the Wait, do we have to censor this?
Kenny Pickett.
You got to put a little mustache on there.
Mustache going on the sad face.
All right, so that was my.
Yeah, that's a good one, though.
That is
that's bad.
I mean, Pickett, everything we heard about this
But just again, you lost to Zach Wilson. I mean, I just can't.
Well, you lost this one, so.
I know, but that's Dak and the Cowboys and a great defense. Even the Niners, great team.
Let's just talk about the state of New York, the Bills, the Jets, the Giants.
What a great.
What about the Mets and the Yankees?
Hey, how's the talk show business in New York?
Mets, Yankees. Oh my God.
This week.
All right, we got to wrap. We're going to come back with what's trending. Some interesting fans were in attendance.
Did Messi play in any of these games?
No Messi this week.
Didn't play in any of these games?
He's got his name in.
Back on Game Changers, one of my favorite things from week 1, guys, was SoFi Stadium sounded like a Dolphins home game. A lot of Dolphin fans. Also in attendance, some robots. We have some pictures of this. I guess they're doing like some sort of movie, and so they put these robots in the stands.
Ooh, AI.
How do we feel about the AI
Those aren't real people?
Those aren't real people.
No.
No, that dude's real.
No. Listen.
He's got the headset on.
Yeah, that's a headset on.
He's listening to
those aren't beats. No,
he's not listening to the Chargers radio broadcast?
I think the one with the bucket hat looks more like a robot than they do.
Oh, they're taking shots at me. But how do we feel about the AI taking over?
I don't like it.
You don't like
Why are they there, though? What's the point?
They're doing something with a movie, so they're filming something.
I think it's fascinating.
So you can get you an AI robot. They can go watch the game for you, and you just stay at home. Is that how it works?
You get one that looks just like me?
No one wants that.
Then I could do like 3 more jobs and have them show up for me.
There you go.
Now you're thinking.
You do 3 more jobs, you're going to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. I think
How many jobs?
Yeah, right behind you, Bo Camper. As second place, I'll be in the record.
We're going to find out if
that's what happens when you get paid $50 to do.
Yeah, can you be on
You're
air?
getting paid $50? Oh man, I got to get some more money.
Can you be on air in 2 places at the same time?
Maybe now.
Goldie will find out.
I've done that.
With AI, it's kind of scary. It is a little scary.
It is a little weird.
Little scary.
All right. Well, it's too bad they weren't Dolphins. That's probably why it was so quiet, because the robots were in cheer.
They
Robots were quiet. They didn't know. I tell you what, look, the Dolphin fan. I traveled all the games, and everywhere we go, there's a good contingent of Dolphin fans. But there was a huge contingent of Dolphin fans there at SoFi.
Yeah.
But no one in LA cares about the Chargers anyway.
And that's
so there's plenty of tickets available.
And that's a great trip. Like if you're going to take a trip to a game,
awesome.
Head out to LA for the weekend.
Let me tell you what, that stadium is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Spaceship.
Yeah, it is.
Who's driving it? Those AI robots.
Well, you know when you see the level of the top, the field's 6 stories down.
Okay, I didn't
You go
realize
down to get into the field. It's unbelievable. It's really nice. Yeah,
that's
great.
Thanks for inviting
Good
us.
Mexican food too.
Yeah, thanks for the invite.
I invited you. You guys
with friends like
this guy's bragging about his margaritas on Dolphins Weekly Live. Didn't bother. Didn't even bother. All right.
Could have sent us a couple planes.
I said 2 on Dolphins Weekly. I had 4.
You had 4. And on that note, we say goodbye. Thank you guys for joining us here on Game Changers. Now, careful what he's drawing on it. We will be talking about week 2. Hopefully, another Dolphins win after taking on the Patriots on Sunday Night Football. It's all running together.
Foxborough.
Thanks again for joining us here on Game Changers.